Hey everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight TV edition. I am Peter, that is Tim.
Yo yo.
We are working our way through Tales from the Crypt, the old
Mhm.
HBO show, the anthology. I've never seen it before, and we're having fun going through it. This is going to be season 1, episode 5. It's called Lover Come Hack to Me, and spoilers for the episode, as we usually have. So, the gist of this one is that a woman named Peggy, who seems to be a very conservative, saving herself for marriage, woman, gets married to this guy with long hair named Charles, and her aunt is convinced that he's only marrying her for her money because she happens to come from a very wealthy family, wealthy background.
Mhm.
Uh, he makes no mistake in letting the audience know that that is indeed the case because he he basically, even when the aunt talks to him, he immediately essentially talks about it as if that's why he's there.
Mhm.
But no, so they go off for their honeymoon, but there's it's a storm. There's a big branch blocking the road, so they end up going into this like old abandoned house nearby, where they spend their honeymoon, and they all build. It builds up to for quite a bit, but eventually they finally have their first time having sex,
Mhm.
and we, there's a dream sequence about speculating that Peggy's up to no good, but then it turns out, of course, that she is up to no good, and she is there to kill him because, in the tradition of her family, the women kill the husband after having sex on their honeymoon, and it always gets them pregnant with a girl. So they only have girls,
Mhm.
and that's the episode.
Yeah.
Did you like the episode, Timmy?
Uh, it was okay.
Yeah. So I,
Probably.
I I'm
Mhm.
I'm kind of I'm there with you. I feel like this is probably the weakest one of the show so far.
Definitely. I feel like the majority of it was the sex scene, which, you know, uh,
Well, I wouldn't say the majority of it. I say the majority of it was the build up to the sex scene
mhm.
rather than the sex scene itself. The sex scene itself, don't get me wrong, did last a bit longer than it needed to,
Yeah.
and the actress was. She sounded like she was being murdered instead of having sex. It was kind of weird and awkward, if we're honest about it. But there was a lot of build up. There was a lot of, oh, we found this house. It's a rainy and stormy night. Or there's a
Mhm.
fireplace. Let's start the fire. And that stuff was okay. It was built up to this. There was a big creepy old grandfather clock, and it was setting the mood. That was the thing that was okay. The mood was fine, but it
Yeah.
did do a lot of things that kind of irked me. One, it
Yeah.
did the whole nightmare sequence that is exactly what's going to happen in real life. Like,
Yeah.
there's a nightmare sequence where he sees Peggy murder this other guy, Alan, who he
Mhm.
believes he's also is like she's come here with him just like she did with him,
Mhm.
and before we find out it's a dream. And given it's Tales from the Crypt, I was kind of like I was believing what was going on. That he's
Mhm.
like that Charles is actually dead. He's become a ghost, and he like flies through them.
Yeah.
The idea that he's already been murdered and now Peggy's murdering her next victim, and that's what
Mhm.
this is. And it turns out it's not exactly that, but he wakes up and she immediately grabs the big axe that was in the house anyway, and kills him.
Yeah. That wasn't great. And then it was kind of weird because it's like, well, I guess they're not exactly ghosts, but he's having a dream. Like, is he psychic or is there something weird going on with the house since they're there?
Well,
But
they
or
establish that it's the house that her mother killed her father
yeah.
in.
Mhm. So
Beyond
is there?
that, though, there's no actual like sign of any supernatural going ons actually outside
Yeah.
of his nightmare, which feels oddly accurate and oddly, like it feels really cheap. Like it felt cheap when
Yeah.
he woke up because it's just, oh, it was all a dream.
Yeah.
But then it feels even weirder when it turns out to just be exactly true.
Yeah. No, it was kind of funny. Their little interaction when she's saying like, "All right, I'm gonna kill you because I don't want time to diminish our love. I want our love to be perfect, little moment
Yeah,
in
so
time."
so, so that it ends before. Yeah, it ends when it's at its height, where we both love each other so much that it's, it'll last forever. And that's when he turns around and goes, "But no, no,
Yeah.
no, no! I only married you for your money. I can
Yeah.
prove it." Like, like that was funny because that flipped the tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny, and then I thought it was going to be there was maybe going to be a little bit more of a back and forth between them, maybe some type of battle or something. But that's not really what happens. It just he tries to shoot her, and then there's the bullets aren't in the gun, and then she just chops him. So it's kind of like, oh, I don't know. It kind of felt like they were going for something I wasn't expecting as much there, but then it kind of just went to, oh, okay, that's just gonna end like that.
Yeah, and we just get a scene at the end that shows that her aunt was kind of in on it, and you know, this is just their family tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Which
was odd. It was oddly kind of a mediocre episode. Like it's a shame because it's the first one that we've watched that I didn't like that much.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, though, it's not like there's like nothing about it really made me mad. It's not like I'm like, oh man, this is I'm mad I watched this. I will feel like I wasted my time. Like, it was still okay, but yeah, it just wasn't, especially compared to the other ones, which I did actually enjoy. This was just a little bit of a like, that, that happened.
Yeah, the most fun I got out of it, I enjoyed some of the build up with the creepy, creepy house. Lightning's
Yeah,
going off. Like the mood was okay, and I did like how blatant Charles was about why he was marrying her. Like, it's
yeah,
like literally they've been married for a couple of hours because they're on the road to the hotel to on the honeymoon night, on the wedding night, and he's already like snapping at her and like telling her what to do, and it's just like, like I liked how blatant that was. That was amusing to me.
yeah. He was a good character, like just the way he was such an over the top scumbag, and I did like how like Peggy was acting really weird and creepy. So I did kind of like that build up because you're like, I don't really know what's going on. Is he gonna do something? Is she gonna do something?
Yeah, because
Um,
I think obviously you're meant to expect him to do something bad, but
mhm.
which is why because it's Tales from the Crypt, not very long into it, I'm like, well, okay, she's going to turn out to be the real evil here. Like,
Yeah,
they're going to flip it, and they do flip it, but they can't. I guess they kind of flip it in the least interesting way they probably
yeah,
could have flipped it,
exactly.
and then throw in the cheap dream sequence, and it adds up
Mhm,
to like something that's not. For a story that's what 20 to 25 minutes long, however long these are without commercials,
mhm.
it just feels a little unsatisfying. It didn't
Yeah,
add up to what the other ones did, so it's a shame.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, I don't think I really have much to add.
Now, anything else is Tom Holland directed this, who you may
Mhm,
know as the director of Fright Night. He also did the first Child's Play. That's his two sort of main notable
mhm,
movies, uh, which I can I can see a little bit of the Child's Play in this. Not in plot, of
mhm.
course, but just the way he shoots the house and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Like I can kind of see that came from the same person, but
Mhm.
nah. There was no one in this that I recognised either, so I don't have my usual. Oh,
Um, yeah, I recognize the wife, Amanda Plummer.
I know her name, but I couldn't tell you what she was in.
The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is isn't she the girl in the beginning of Pulp Fiction? I think.
She has a very similar voice. If it's not her, it definitely sounds like her.
Yeah.
But you may be right. You probably are right. But
That's the only thing like off the. She's been in a ton of other stuff. I think, but that's the only thing I can kind of think of right now off the top of my head.
yeah. Oh well. Hopefully, episode 6, which is the last episode of the first season, will
Oh, really?
put us. Yeah, season one's only 6 episodes.
Oh,
Then we're on straight on to season 2 the following week. So
okay.
so that's been episode 5 of Tales from the Crypt. Let us know what you thought of this episode if you've seen it in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff helps us out a lot. And of course, me and Tim are on the Mailed Fuzz Movies YouTube channel talking about horror movies and Screams After Midnight, especially right now because it's October and we're doing a bunch
Hmm.
of extra episodes. Some of them very, very bad. The movies themselves, I mean, are very, very bad. Not that our episode of Screams is bad, although you might think they're bad too. That's fair. I mean, Tim is
Um,
on those episodes, so of course they might be.
hey now.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Keep watching Scary TV. We'll see you next time.